RMDs, required minimum distributions, are confusing. Today I'm going to break down 10 of the most common RMD mistakes I see as a financial advisor. First off, we'll start with an easy one, not starting on time. Even though it sounds simple, this one's actually a little tougher than it sounds because the rules have changed a few times in the last few years. For a long time, you had to start at age 70 and a half. It now stands at 73, but guess what? It's going to change again to age 75 in the future. So here's the scoop, and I'll throw a graphic up here to make this a little easier to follow along. If you were born in 1951, you turned 73 this year in 2024, so it's time for you to start your RMDs. 73 stays the starting age for anyone born between 1951 and 1959. If you're born in 1960 or later, the starting age for you is 75 years old. Although it wouldn't surprise me to see that change again before it's actually in place. For right now, it's age 73 until the year 2033 when it bumps to 75. Number 2, combining your RMDs with a spouse. This is a common one. It's a question I get a lot. RMDs are an individual thing. It's per person, not per couple. Doesn't matter how you file your taxes. Everyone gets their own RMD calculation based on their age and the value of their retirement accounts. Each person has to meet that requirement separately. You can't take it all from one spouse's account. It just doesn't work that way. The third mistake is misunderstanding the potential cost of not starting on time. So, as I said, you have to take your first RMD at age 73, but there's a loophole that says that you can wait until April 1st of the following year to take it. But here's the rub. If you do that, if you take it in the calendar year after you turn 73, you still have to take your second distribution that same year at age 74, which basically means you're doubling up your RMD for that first year if you try to be cute and push the first one out as long as possible. Doubling the RMD means potentially doubling the income tax on the distribution, maybe even more if you push into a higher bracket, which can mean paying more in taxes. Generally speaking, unless you have a really strange situation like massively lower income coming in that following year, just take your first one in the year you start at age 73. Now on to number 4, RMDs to Roth conversions. This is a no-no. I love Roth conversions. If you watch the channel, you know that, but this isn't the way to do it. The RMD has to be separated out from your account and taxed. You can't then convert that money into a Roth. You can do a Roth conversion while you're receiving RMDs, but you got to satisfy the RMD first. Take that money out, have it taxed, then you can choose to convert additional money into a Roth account. Hey, while you're watching today, if you're planning your own financial future, subscribe to the channel, come back and visit us again, and check out the description. I put links down there to a couple of our best retirement resources. Number 5, we're cooking here. RMD aggregation. This one and number 6 go hand in hand, but listen closely because there's a huge difference between the two of them. For IRA accounts where you have an RMD, you don't have to take a distribution from every single IRA. If you have multiple IRA accounts, you can calculate the required minimum off of the total and take it from one single place. You just have to meet the total amount. It doesn't have to be portioned out from each account. Now, this creates a great planning opportunity because depending upon how you're invested, where you draw your funds from makes a difference. You don't necessarily want to sell evenly from everything every time. If the market's down, for example, you don't want to sell from your growth assets because they're on sale right now. So you'd rather leave them to recover and sell from something else. Or if there's been a huge run up in a specific sector, you might want to meet your RMD from that to trim back your risk allocation. There's a number of potential opportunities here. Just know that for IRAs, it doesn't have to come from everywhere. You can pick and choose where you meet the RMD as long as you meet it. Number 6, now this is the opposite of what I just said. If you have multiple 401ks or 403bs that are subject to RMDs, you have to take the appropriate distribution from each one of them. You don't get to aggregate your balances like we just talked about with the IRAs. Each 401k that is subject to an RMD needs to have its own distribution. On to number 7, while we're talking about RMDs from 401ks, they have special rules if you're still working. The headline here is, if you're still working at the company, you don't have to take an RMD. But don't stop there, read the fine print. The fine print is this. 1, you can't be more than a 5% owner of the company. This is a rule for folks working at the company, not for the company owner. And 2, your plan has to allow it. Not every plan is required to allow it. They have to allow you to keep the money in there. If those 2 are true and you're still working at the company, even if you're of required minimum distribution age, you don't have to take the RMD from the 401k. Also note, this does not apply to RMDs from IRAs. This is for 401ks of the company that you work for if you're still employed there. Number 8, keeping with the 401ks, if you have Roth 401k money in your account, it's no longer subject to an RMD as of 2024. It used to be. Up until this year. That changed with Secure 2.0. You used to have to take an RMD from your 401k Roth account. Even if you didn't incur the taxes, you had to separate the money out. Now you no longer have to do that. That's similar to Roth IRAs. As you know, there's no RMD on a Roth IRA, provided you're the original owner. Different rules if you inherited the account from someone else. That's a topic for another video. Now we're on to number 9. We're coming down the backstretch here. Make sure that you take your RMD every year. There are penalties for missing it. The penalties have gotten lower, but they still exist. Used to be a 50% penalty. Yeah, a 50% penalty if you missed an RMD, plus you had to take the distribution and you had to pay the tax on top of it. Now, that number's been reduced to a 25% penalty, and the rules actually state that if you correct the mistake before the IRS finds it, you might be able to reduce the penalty to 10%. But regardless, penalties exist if you miss taking your RMDs, so don't miss it. Set up an automatic RMD coming out of your account. That's available almost everywhere. That's an easy way to avoid that one. The last one, number 10, not actually a mistake, but a planning opportunity. Even if you're already RMD age, you might be able to lower your RMDs by using something called a QLAC, which is a Qualified Longevity Annuity Contract. It's a special kind of annuity that allows you to kick the can down the road and continue deferring a portion of your RMD money to keep it out of the RMD calculation. There's a number of rules to doing it right. I'll get a video up about it at some point. If that's of interest to you, I'll drop it right over here. Until I do, check out another way to reduce taxes you pay from your RMDs through charitable giving. I'll put that one over here. I'll see you on the other side.